You're now listening to the Loud Talk Podcast, powered by Hustle Killer. You're listening to Loud Talk Podcast, powered by Hustle Killer. It's motherfucking Bernie Mac. You listen to motherfucking Loud Podcast, motherfucker. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Loud Talk Podcast. This is episode 7. Remember, every episode is powered by Hustle Killer. Make sure you check out the website or the Instagram, www.hustlekiller.com, or the Instagram Hustle Killer. Cool. Today we have Kyle Goldstein in the building, everybody.
What's going on, everybody? How we doing?
Yeah, so
I'm happy to be here, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming. We wanted to have you on for a while, and now that we got the new place established, we're glad to have you. So
looks awesome in here, by the way.
Oh,
everything looks so cool in here
already. Yeah, thanks. The grand opening will be coming soon, so everybody be ready for that. But a couple things we're going to get into today. I want to talk about, your life, your career, your music, what you got going on, projects and stuff like that. But to get people familiar with you, where are you from?
Yeah, if you don't know me, my name is Kyle Goldstein. I have grown up pretty much my whole entire life. I was in North Reading, Massachusetts. I went to school there for a little bit. I left there my freshman year. Was out in Holbrook with my dad for a while. That was about for a few months. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up going out to Everett. Went to school out there for about 3 years or so. And so I was kind of all over the place, but most of my childhood I grew up in North Reading, Massachusetts. Okay. And I mean, pretty much, basic, normal kid lifestyle for a while.
Right.
Had my parents were divorced, so I was kind of going, all over the place there. But overall, just kind of your atypical family growing up. Nice suburban town, all that fun stuff.
Makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of projects that you've done throughout the years. Actually, we've worked together before on a cypher that we did.
How long ago was that?
That was about 4 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah, that was me, him, Kaz Bars, and Suicide Child. And you absolutely killed that cypher, bro. Listen, all the comments, all your people, you have a very good support system when it comes to music, man. Shout out to your fans. Seriously.
I love them. I mean, they're all friends to me, all family in a lot of ways too, actual family.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah.
It's really awesome, man, when you got a core group of people that do care about your music like that, or you get people reaching out and saying I really feel this, or it helped me get through this.
Yeah. Shit
like that is the reason I do it in the first place.
Right,
So,
right. It gives you more inspiration when it's your true friends and your true family who are supporting.
Right.
Because we know, I'm not going to say just Massachusetts, but a lot of local artists struggle to even get their family to even share, support, or even purchase something that costs 99 cents.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
I couldn't even think of that makes me feel terrible. You know what I mean, in a lot of ways. But it's at the same time, I feel super fortunate that I do, right? I'm super lucky to have that. But it does, I can only imagine for the people that don't even have that, I know with my anxiety and things that I go through, that if that was happening to me, I'd be way in my head about it, right? And I'd be super hyper focused on it. But I mean, some people, it gives them the incentive to get it more, right? And just grind fucking harder.
Go harder,
And that's, where people get successful, and that's where people start seeing that. You know what I mean?
True.
Maybe that's their motivation,
That sounds like probably the right answer, because I think a lot of local artists, like you said, really struggle with the fact that their own friends and family won't even press a like button, but will be quick to comment about something goofy that you post.
Right. Yeah, I think that's something that everybody goes through at some point in time too, right? I mean, for an extensive amount of time. It starts off where people are like, oh yeah, cool, haha.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started out, I was in my buddy Alan's basement. He lived in a house in Chelsea. Mm-hmm. We went downstairs. We had no idea what we were doing. We plugged a Rock Band microphone in.
Oh, I've heard that
story. Hung it over a pipe, right? And hung it over a pipe, and we're just singing and trying to rap and freestyling and doing all this stuff. And we were putting out music on MySpace. MySpace. That's a while back now, man. And it sounded like a couple 16-year-olds with a Rock Band microphone in the fucking basement. You know what I mean?
Right. But you're creating art, which you didn't really understand back then.
Not yet, right? But it was at that point, right? Who is gonna
True.
Like,
Especially a young,
right.
impressionable.
They go, cool. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to be something that you're doing forever, right?
Right.
Especially if you, I wasn't great when I started rapping. Like, I wasn't even close to good.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people are like that. Some people are naturally amazing.
Yeah,
they
are. But most people are novice when they start.
Typically, right?
Yeah,
you would have to assume so. You have special talent, right? You have special talents, but a lot of times it just takes a lot of hard work and doing it all the time. Just like playing basketball, like something like that.
Anything,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shooting free throws. You're going to get better if you keep shooting every day.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't shoot anymore, you're going to suck more. Practice makes perfect.
Practice. Definitely. But I want to also get into, so you're doing you were doing festivals.
Yeah.
Who was that under? What was it under different promoters, or was it under the same promoter? Or
no, there was a bunch of different ones that I've done, and a lot of them are actually more in the electronic music realm, rather than like hip hop, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of those, I don't even know how that ended up happening. It was really just me going out to those shows and enjoying them, going to those festivals, and then meeting these people, and then basically, I would be rapping at the festival or at a campground or or I'd be outside of like the Wonder Bar
ciphering
and just rapping. And like somebody, I see a cipher, I'll just go up and people be like, "Oh shit!" Like you know what I mean? He's pretty good.
You're nice,
And I was like, okay, like awesome. And then I rapped for this dude Vibe Street outside of a show, and he was like, "You guys are familiar with like Pretty Lights or?" Pretty much like he's like this really cool vibey music, but it has some hip hop elements in it.
Yeah.
And basically I was like, I rapped for him, and then he gave me an opportunity to perform at an EDM concert for pretty much the first time ever.
Which concert was that?
It was he headlined the show at the Middle East.
At the Middle East.
Yeah, so it was he sold out the upstairs. It was like
I was gonna say it was upstairs and downstairs.
It was upstairs. Sold out though, like packed to the brim.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Was that a Leeds event?
No, this was I can't remember who it was. I'm thinking it might have been Bean Dream potentially, but
anyway,
yeah. So like I went up and I did the remix of a song of his that I recorded.
Oh, nice!
And it like went off, and then I just started getting more and more opportunities, and I met some like really awesome people that gave me a platform to start off. Like my buddy Honeycomb is a big one for me. He put me on some amazing shows and has helped me out a lot, and like. Really, once we perform together, it really goes off well too. So it's like pretty crazy, man.
That's what's
crazy.
Up. So I've seen a few footage of you at festivals, and you perform for a lot of people.
Yeah. No, it's I mean,
what was like the most? Do you know? Like
the most?
It was like it had to be a couple hundred, huh?
More than that.
Really?
So one time was at this festival called Minus Zero with my buddies Dude and Guy, and we made a song together. It was like a typical like dubstep song, and it had like a big build up, like heavy drop, and we played there. I want to say at like 5 p.m. like right when shit was about to start getting crazy, going down, like sun going down, headliners coming on, and basically we played in front of, I would like to say at least like 1,500 people, like a little bit more than that. And then also the same time with Dude and Guy, a second time actually, was at Royale, and that place was like full. A full Royale was.
I believe I saw that footage.
Yeah, that was large. Like, I mean, that was intimidatingly big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That was another really big one. There was the UNS Festival in California, had a decent amount of people.
Hold up, stop the music. Hold on, you did a festival in California?
Yes,
I did not know that.
No way.
Are you serious?
So I went on this tour with there was a bunch of DJs on the tour, and I was like the MC. So I would have like a little set, like a little 15-minute set, but then I would be hopping up throughout the night on everybody's set, and just rapping, just like being the MC for the night.
Nice.
And we did it was like 13 stops, 12 states, or 12 or 13 states or something like that. And we went from like Cincinnati all the way through, like we hit Denver, we went all the way out to California, and we played the UNS Festival at the end of it. And yeah, it was really
that
cool.
must have been like eye-opening and
that was an experience.
Really inspirational for you to be not only leaving Massachusetts, but going to California and doing multi-show tour with like a lot of people.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I think that was another part of opening doors for me, and like meeting people and becoming friendly with a lot of talented producers. I mean, a lot of the people on there, or at least a handful, have been producers on, you know, subsequent albums after. My buddy Smokestacks, or he goes by Research Chemicals.
Okay.
Research Chemicals is like his side, like lo-fi project. He does like these really cool
I
hip-hop
love
beats.
lo-fi, man.
Me too,
I
man.
love
Yeah.
lo-fi. Even to just relax. Sometimes I used to listen to lo-fi
I
just
can
to go to
listen to
bed.
shit all the time, bro.
Just to go to bed. And the visuals are cool on YouTube.
Oh, 100%.
You watch the lo-fi?
Oh yeah. The like the
Simpsons
girl,
and stuff.
Oh, I see the one. I was the famous
Oh,
one.
the girl that's chilling in the
taking
room.
notes,
Yeah.
coffee,
Looks mad comfortable.
Yep. It's just a vibe. But
Yeah.
he has some really cool stuff like that, like good sample work, and he also does like the drum machine stuff. He's super talented, and then he has this, project called Smokestacks, and that's like more of your like dubstep or like bass music. That a little bit.
I
heavier.
noticed that you gravitate towards like the more electronic vibes, but you still keep a nice hip hop core to it. I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. I try. That's awesome.
Because I remember there was one point in time when I was doing like a lot of music actively. I was doing like trying to like find dubstep, EDM, because that really was the biggest, and probably still is the biggest growing, not
genre.
dubstep, but DJ festivals and whatever you call them nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Big
raves is what I would call them.
Yeah, so I guess the festivals, raves for me almost kind of give me like if 90s like warehouse kind of.
Well, I'm
vibe.
a little bit older, so I think that's why I said that.
You know what I mean? It's that's what it kind of like.
Definitely.
It's not. There are some that like my buddy goes to like these like Brooklyn warehouse shows, and they're kind of like raves, but like festivals are a little different because you can. There's a lot like differences there. It's definitely a lot more structured than the ones that I performed at. Right. It's not just kind of like, oh, you're not supposed to be here, doing whatever. You know what I mean? Listening to music. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more structured, but like the music, you could say it's somewhat comparable in a lot of ways, like certain genres of it. But EDM is like saying like something like hip hop, right? Hip hop has so many different stems, different like paths, right? Yep. You got like your conscious rappers, you got your trap rappers, you have all these different subgenres. EDM's the same way, right? So when you like hear dubstep,
which is again an old school term,
right? There's all sorts of different like.
It's like house music.
Right? It's a little bit different than that. So like house music is a consistent beat, right? So like boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
Yeah. Then they throw the bass.
Dubstep is breakbeat, like hip hop, right? So boom, boom, ka.
Yep.
Boom,
exactly.
So that's really pretty much what it is, right?
True.
But there is different kinds of bass music, right? So like when dubstep is just like one kind of genre, and then you have like your more ethereal stuff where it's like really bassy but like pretty, or there's like some funk, right? Where you have all these like, different cool elements, different BPMs, totally different vibes, different energies, like. And it's really, really like dense in that sense, right? Like there's so many different genres, so many cool things, and that was kind of what brought me into that. Like I really enjoyed that.
You gotta go see him at a festival, bro.
Oh, I'd love to see.
Just hearing the like.
I mean, I've seen you perform in front of the camera when we did a video together. I'd love to see you perform. That energy, man, is. Oh, dude, I haven't seen anything really around here that matches that energy.
It's fun, man. It's fun, and it's like because everybody's there for that shit. Like my goal there when I'm at an EDM festival is to make it better, right? Like and there's a lot of times like I'm included in that, right? Where as a fan, when I'm going there, sometimes the MC can like fuck it up.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know what I mean? And like make it shitty for everybody out there. And like every single time I go on stage, it isn't just to go and like yell something on the mic. Like I will like pick my time and place.
Yeah, you're very weathered when it comes to that.
And then go in and do it if I was like say on tour as an example, or if a homie like that was performing would be like, yo, come up here during this one, or he would just say come up now,
or whatever.
Right, and you just do it. But like it's like a fine line, right? Because people are really more there for the beat than you, right?
Definitely.
And that's something that you got to deal with when you're at a festival and an MC. Like that's something that's pretty normal, and that's okay. Like that doesn't bother me. I fucking love it, man. I'll go there all the time in this rap. Just a rap,
Yeah.
So fun.
That's cool.
And that energy, come on.
Unmatched,
man.
Unmatched energy. So I wanted to switch gears, and I wanted to talk about your musical influences. And it can be, from younger age till now. Because I know you really like X Tentacion. I know you like him.
I did like X.
But now, no, let's say from younger days to now, do you have any main musical influences, like staples throughout the period of your life who made you who you are now?
A lot, actually, bro.
Okay.
Like a lot of
Can
time.
you give me three?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So I would say first and foremost, it sounds weird because my music doesn't sound like that in a lot of ways, but I guess for my electronic stuff, it does kind of make sense.
Okay.
Is Rage Against the Machine was
I seen Rage Against the Machine live with Wu-Tang at Great Woods when it was called Great Woods. It's a tweet.
I'm hurt by that, man. I'm literally.
Listen, I talk about the story all the time.
I'm actually upset.
And it's crazy because what they were talking about, Rage Against the Machine, is still reigning true to this day.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%, 100%. It was like they were ahead of its time
Big time.
and right on time.
Zach
If
De
that
La Roche.
makes any sense.
Zach De La Roche is a very nice writer.
Dude, an incredible
Yeah,
performer
he
too.
was a
Just
good
like,
performer, yeah.
but like he had some shit to say.
Yeah,
you know
he
what I
did.
mean?
He did.
And I remember my pops, right? My dad got me their CD when I was like 5.
Yeah. Wow.
Like it was
That's awesome.
Evil Empire. It
That's
was I got
awesome,
my
yeah.
first 2 records were Evil Empire and Green Day, Dookie.
I
were
had
the
it
first
too.
2 CDs.
Most
I ever
amazing
owned.
cover of all time. Yeah.
That cover is
Fucking
amazing, right? That
I
cover
used to
is
stare at that shit for so long. in
Yeah,
high
you can get
school.
lost in that cover,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
music was also fantastic
That
for the
music
time
is
too.
untouched. That music is untouched.
Mhm.
That shit belongs in a museum. That whole entire album.
Without a
Every
doubt.
single song is a freaking banger.
Yeah,
But,
100%.
But I want to stray off your musical influences. So
Rage.
Rage would be your early influence,
Yeah.
right? And so about midway, like let's talk about high school. Like who would be your influences like in high school? That's about mid.
Ooh, high school. So high school, there was a couple, and I think that was really where most of my influence comes in.
Right.
Like at this point,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
kind of all over the place. There was one rock band, like a genre called post-hardcore, but it's a band called Silverstein.
Okay.
Kind of like
Are you
emo.
wearing that shirt right now? Actually.
100%.
Okay. Yeah. I actually peeped that
Shout out
earlier.
to Silverstein.
Shout out to Silverstein. I actually noticed you wearing it earlier because I was like Silverstein, Shel Silverstein.
Nah.
It was a book back in the day. You know
It's
what I
a
mean?
band. I don't know. It was like this, like like I call it. It's post-hardcore, but
Yeah.
you would know it by like screamo, like
Okay.
in a way,
Yep,
like
yep.
they have some like really good melodies, but then they go and they scream,
Mhm.
and then but his writing, the lead singer's writing for me was something that inspired me a lot.
Wow. That's
Just from
awesome.
I was fans of them when I was 14 years old. I'm turning 30
Wow.
soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, bro. I'm pushing it. And
Wow.
but I've been listening to them now for 11 years. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like 11 years.
Still listening to them.
Oh yeah, still going to their shows. They were the last concert I went to before COVID happened.
Was it at the Paradise Lounge or something?
House of Blues.
House of Blues.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But they killed it. But yeah, their writing to me and a lot of their they had a lot of cool concept albums that really caught me
Yep.
when I heard it for the first time. Where I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And that's where Seasons kind of like my
Come from.
Yeah, came from
Mhm.
right when I was making that whole entire.
Yeah, we're
thing.
gonna get into that too. 'Cause
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a whole thing, whole hour now. But yeah, so
Silverstein.
Silverstein.
Then I would probably say, wow, I'm torn between a handful that inspired me. I would say like that middle child generation of rap.
Okay.
So Cole, Drake,
Yep.
Kendrick,
Yep.
like those guys definitely
Mhm.
inspired the hell out of me because that's what I grew up when they came up.
Yeah.
Like you know what I
So
mean?
about 08 is when J. Cole kind of broke through, right? And
Right.
then what were you,
Cudi,
what were you like 17?
Yeah, at that point
Yeah,
probably
something like
08,
that, yeah.
16,
16, 17,
yeah.
yeah. So I could imagine, I was a little bit older when Cole came out, but I could imagine as a 16-year-old because when I grew up it was Wu-Tang. Super lyrical stuff. We used to have to write down the lyrics to really understand it, you know?
Yeah, like kind of break
They
it
are
down.
super
and-
complex, they're a little off the rocker, but so that must have been awesome to have a Cole, a Kendrick influence
Well,
at that age.
it was just so much good content at that time. Where
Yeah.
it was that's when I also first started rapping. So
Oh, okay, nice.
everybody that first starts rapping, they typically try to do their best impersonation
A formula of their
said
favorite.
person, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to sound like this person, and they do that for a little bit till they find their own sound.
Yeah, true.
But all these dudes were coming out right at that time, so I was getting like super inspired by all of their music. Man on the Moon 1
Yeah.
was another massive one that was like mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely shattered my skull when I heard that the first time. I was like, this is like so personal. It's like so the vibes is so crazy.
Right.
So Kid Cudi would be another one.
Kid
as well.
Cudi, okay. I never got deep into Kid Cudi. I don't know why. I think because he was out for a short period of time where he was Kid Cudi, the star. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he kind of went to that depression phase, and like he didn't release a lot of music where I could be like, all right, now he has a body of work where I'm going to start, start listening. You know what I mean?
Right. I love Kid Cudi.
I know he's great.
There were some that I wasn't the biggest fan of personally, but I always loved Kid Cudi.
Yeah,
like,
Kid Cudi's
if he,
awesome.
whatever phase that dude's going through, as long as he's putting music out, I'm cool. Like, I liked his new record. I liked all the Man on the Moons like a lot.
Right.
Every single one of them.
Okay.
So he always he got a special place in my musical catalog just because like at the time. Same thing with like X.
Yep.
Where it was like that was crazy for me too, because like such a young kid inspiring someone like me, where I was like hearing the music and I was like, wow, it's dark, it's really raw, but it's real as shit.
Yeah,
you know
the
what I
way
mean?
he come off, like even like his Instagram posts, you could just tell like he was a genuine person, you know?
Right, and I mean, yeah, if like
demons following him, but
and he could have done shitty things, right? I'm not saying he didn't do shitty things.
Yeah.
But for me, I do firmly believe. I mean, we've all grown up on hip hop, right? Where people don't always do the right thing.
They don't.
And that's never stopped anybody from listening to the good art, right? There's a lot of fucked up people in the world that make good art, right?
There's a lot of fucked up famous people.
Or art in general. Like think of all like the most famous composers.
Yeah,
of all
painters.
Painters.
Yeah,
they're all nuts.
They are.
They're all nuts. You know what I mean?
Nuts. Yeah.
So I try to appreciate art for what it is.
Yeah.
And nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
And
you don't want to take too much from it, take too little from it. Yeah,
and that's not saying, because I can, like, if he did what he was alleged of doing, that's fucking terrible. You know what I mean? That's gross.
Never condone that.
Right? Never in a million fucking years.
No.
But, you know what I mean? For me, it's like his music did some, like, positive for me personally.
And for millions of others people.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I condone any of that, right? Like, I mean, that's a very like rash, like,
because we could get into the whole conversation of how many artists that we love that did a lot of fucked up shit, and we're not looking at that.
Jay-Z did some shit back in the day. So, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there was a lot of people that did some crazy shit back in the day.
I know exactly.
Dr. Dre. Yeah. Dr. Dre did some shit, right?
Well, remember, his whole basis of back in the day was, you know, bees ain't this and hoes ain't that, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it was kind of like a disrespect for women, because I grew up in that era, you know what I mean? But I think it was due to my mom, where I was able to separate, understanding that was music, and not all women are fucking, you know, hoes or whatever.
Right,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
And it's like, we can't, if we can't do that, right, and appreciate art just simply for what it is, that's like something that like I'll never not do, right?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Nope.
If it's good, I'm gonna say it's good,
yeah.
right? Even if it's from a fucked up person.
It is.
Right?
Because, I've heard I can't remember how the quote goes, but it was like, pretty much, it was about an artist, a painter, and whatever the painter did something fucked up in real life, and the person that was staring at the painting was like, I'm not staring at what he did in his life, I'm staring at the art now, here and now.
Right,
you know
right.
What I mean?
I think a lot of artists know that too. Like, I feel like most people I talk to that hear, like, have a similar opinion to me in that situation is typically somebody that is an artist that gets it and goes, okay, like, I know what you're saying, at least, you know?
Yeah.
But X was always an amazing influence. His lo-fi beat selection was incredible.
It was.
I don't even know if he produced, though. I didn't look at the production credits.
I think I've seen some production credits.
Yeah, but if he did, I mean, even better, man. He brought that sound that I like so much back, and he was really real, like Jocelyn Flores.
Like that. Mm-hmm. That's the lo-fi you're talking about, right? Yeah.
Yeah, when he had those like Shiloh Dynasty samples, Jocelyn Flores track, Everybody Dies in Their Nightmares.
Yeah.
All of those records have such a like vibe to them. You know what I mean? Just an immediate vibe to them that you just feel it. You're just like, oh man.
So would you probably say, because I want to talk about, you know, early influence, mid influence, into like now influence. Would X or be in that category of now influence?
Yeah, I listened to him.
But who was like really, really, really right now your driving force? I know you are your driving force, but
that's a good question. Like, I don't listen to a lot of like stuff. Like, I don't actively go and search too much anymore, unless it's like a big like Cole. Mm-hmm. I've been listening to
I heard
Cole.
the album today, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
Let's
that.
do it. I'm ready about that.
Yeah.
But I'll like go and like listen to some like bigger releases or my friends' releases, right? People that will share music. I'll always listen, right? But most of the time at this point, I'm listening to like instrumental music or just writing.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to like make new stuff.
And you're
make
also
my own
live streaming? Are you live streaming?
I was for a little bit.
Yeah.
I moved out to Manchester, New Hampshire.
Oh,
so,
is that where you're at now?
yeah.
Oh, so
I'm
you
out
came
in
from New
Manch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Manch, Vegas,
We
baby.
appreciate you coming from down there, man.
No, of course, dude.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, so I moved out there, and he still lives out in Somerville. So just
Yeah.
distance
Right.
makes it a little bit more difficult.
Right,
And
right.
now I'm like in my studio space at this point, so I'm like in my fucking zone right
I
now.
see you have like a series of videos that you post. I would call it the TikTok room, is what they do it now. With the lights and shit.
Yeah,
I
it's
see
like-
you post freestyles or verses, writtens or whatever you post.
Mostly written.
Do you have series? Like, do you do like weekly ones, or were you at some point putting out
No.
weekly videos?
Just say fuck it, like whenever,
Random
what I mean?
videos,
Like,
yeah.
Typically, I'll just like do a verse that I fuck with,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, oh man, all right,
Yeah,
like
because you really lock in. You really lock in when you do those things, man.
yeah, I can freestyle a little bit, but like I feel like I'm okay at it, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can be in a circle and start
For
freestyling
sure,
at people
for sure.
and hold
your
it
own.
down,
Yeah.
hold my hold
Yeah.
essentially, but kind of.
Hey, hold your own, yeah.
But I mean, most of the time I'd rather come prepared,
Yeah.
just because that's my best version of myself.
I
right?
feel like, and if you're gonna take your craft serious and you really want to take your shit to the next level at some
Right.
point in your life, you have to be prepared, man. You can't come in here sloppy, forgetting words, all this stuff. You gotta be prepared.
Yeah, you gotta come
know what I mean?
like clean, and I think a lot of that goes into my writing process a little bit too,
Right.
where I memorize it because I'm just doing it over and over
Yeah.
and over and over and over and over
Right.
and over again until I get it to a point where I know every word as quickly as possible and just sticks in there.
That's
right?
how I
And you
get
keep
it.
them as long as you can because then
That's how it is.
the older you get, those ones on the back end
Yeah.
start disappearing from the
Oh,
back
I used to
end.
have the go-to verses.
Yeah.
The go-to verses at any given time. I couldn't remember those verses now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like battle verses.
You have the battle verses.
I practice them every day in my head just because so I'm always ready. You know what I mean?
So you just have those things
I
on
have
lock.
them ready
You're
to
just
go
ready to go.
at any given time, any place, anybody. You know what I mean? So that's how you like
Walk out of a McDonald's, see
anybody,
motherfuckers.
like
He's
anybody.
It's like I've been waiting for this moment for
my
like 2
whole
years.
life. You know what I mean?
2 years I've
shit,
been waiting
man.
for this.
So
Hold my McDouble.
about to kill this dude. But so I wanted to talk to you also about the current state. We'll call it rap. Current state of rap right now.
Okay.
How are you feeling about overall the current state of rap as it is? I'm gonna say the last 3 years. I know there's a bunch of people that fall under that category.
I think there's a lot of great music
Okay.
coming out. And I am not one of those people, and I refuse to be one of those people that are like the old fuck on the porch.
I hate that.
They're like, the music's too loud or whatever, right?
I will
Like,
never
hate
get
that.
off my grass.
You
Like,
have
I'll
to-
never be that person.
I'm not going to be that guy.
No.
I'll always come in to listen to music with an open mind.
Definitely.
Like, understanding that it's somebody's art, right?
Right.
It's entirely subjective anyways,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So all the arguing and all like the stuff about who's better or this type of generation of music
Yeah.
sucks. No, there's good in everything and there's not so good, in everything, right?
True.
And it's not up to you to decide who the fuck likes
Definitely.
what. You know what I mean?
Because I'm a little bit older, and people from my era kind of like, oh, I don't want to hear that.
No,
new
it's
shit. Like I love Trippie Redd. Like
I fuck with Trippie too. I saw Trippie.
Yeah,
I saw
like,
Trippie
love
live.
his whole catalog.
I was
love-
way too old to be there. I'll tell you that much,
Yeah,
though, bro. I
oh,
fucking
I know because he has a lot of younger fans.
Well, man, me and my buddy Honeycomb went,
Yeah.
and he said, I got an extra ticket. You want to come? I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, I'll go see Trippie Redd perform. But then we go, and just me.
Of course, a bunch
and
of young
Honeycomb
kids.
got a big afro, right? So me and this tall ass dude just
Yeah.
sitting in the back, and there's like parents there, like in the
Oh,
back.
really?
Like, oh yeah. So we're
Where
just
was
like,
this?
House of Blues.
In Boston?
Oh yeah, House of
Oh,
Blues.
parents,
And-
huh?
I was like, wow. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit back with the parents at this point. So
All ages of
yeah,
it.
we're just all sitting there just like this. It was still
That's how you
amazing.
make money, though.
Yeah.
That's all
Trippie
ages.
killed it.
Of course.
Yeah,
you
he had
know.
a 2-nighter there. Yeah, yes.
Wow. That's awesome.
2-nighter there.
Mhm.
Get that check.
Wow.
I like Trippie. I like Polo G.
I
right
fucking
now.
like Polo G a lot.
Yeah, I
man.
like Polo G.
He's really dope to me.
I'm fucking with Chris King. I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't think so.
That's Chris King. Excuse me. That's Trippie Redd's boy. I like Lil Skies.
Little Skies is pretty cool. Yeah, he hasn't come out with anything.
Yeah,
recently,
yeah,
has he?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he has a bunch of new stuff.
I remember. I think I fell off on him a little bit. Like I listened to. I think it was a while ago. The last time I listened to something, but I did like it.
Yeah.
I didn't know he released like newer shit.
Right.
I would say like for me, I really like. I fuck with Earth Gang a lot.
Earth Gang. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really starting to appreciate Lil Baby a lot too.
Lil
like,
Baby?
Yeah.
You know, that's funny. I was thinking the same thing probably a couple weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? If anything, you have to respect this man's go attitude. He does not stop. He's on everybody's music. He's dropping a zillion
to me,
projects.
He's sounding better and better.
He
and
is.
better
He's sounding
and better.
For me, it was important that
every
he
time.
started to sound more clear.
Yeah.
So the masses can be like, whoa,
I
he's
think
saying
that's
some
just
stuff.
the wave, though. You know, like that's his thing.
And where
at
he's
this
from,
point,
too.
right?
Where they're
Yeah.
from,
Yeah, where he's
Yeah.
from, too. Yeah.
Like, I almost like, when
you
I
talk
listen
to
to
anyone
him,
down there, they mumble.
Oh, for sure. That's why they call him mumble rap, right? Yeah.
when I listen to, but he's saying something, though. That's
He's-
the thing.
yeah, he
like,
definitely
he
has
isn't-
good messages.
and you can hear him. Like,
Yeah.
that's another thing with like when people say mumble rap
Yep.
to me, it's like you just gotta,
Listen. Yeah.
You know, you gotta listen a little bit more.
That's kind of like what I feel like with the older people. Like, I don't want to hear that. It's like, hold up, did you even take
Why?
a listen? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like they write it off based off of delivery, which I
Yeah.
understand, right? If it's not your cup of tea, I'm not saying that I love all that kind
Right.
of music.
Of course,
but,
you'd be a liar.
Walk away humming it.
but yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
I get why people fuck with it. You know what I
catchy,
mean?
it's
I get why
bouncy.
people enjoy it.
Yeah, I
Right?
enjoy this new, era of what I call rap / hip hop because I come from the original generation. So the 80s and the 90s was like like the start of hip hop. So I just appreciate it all the way through, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's take the ride. Let's see where this thing goes. You know what I mean? And
Well, here's the thing too. I always say this when I talk about that, right? Because
Right.
a lot of I agree with you, right? I feel like a lot of the bitterness does come from that generation.
definitely,
Right? Like,
because we were spoiled.
well, and for
Kind
a
of.
lot of reasons, right? But then they're talking, they want it to be that time period style hip hop,
And it's
right?
not.
And if we go back to the origins
Yeah.
of hip hop, right, where it started,
Yeah.
how did it start?
Yeah.
Make party music,
Right.
simple rhythmic patterns.
Yeah, really the DJ.
And party music, right?
Really the DJ,
It wasn't
yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be
About the
lyrical,
MC
spiritual miracles, right?
in your living
Like,
room.
Yeah, in your living room, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. It wasn't
right.
supposed to be like that. It was
wasn't.
supposed to be some like party starting music.
Put your hands
So
in the air.
you could
Right.
argue that these kids right now are doing it better to the original what hip hop was supposed to be,
And
right?
isn't progression what's supposed to be to every, I would say, entity or anything? Progression, right?
Yeah, and it always comes full circle,
Of
right?
course it
Like,
does, yeah.
I mean, all these kids now, like the Ian Dior's of the world,
Yeah.
like Machine Gun Kelly at
Yeah,
this point in
I
time
like
now.
Machine.
Well, they're doing like a genre switch back to
Yeah, like the
early
Rocky,
2000s
yeah.
pop punk.
Yeah, because
Right?
him and Trippie Redd have an entire album together.
Yeah, it sounds like
Well,
Blink 182's releasing new
It
music.
does.
Right? Like,
Travis Barker did the
like,
whole
yeah, right.
Pegasus versus
Oh.
Shark, Neon Shark, or
Yeah,
whatever the
Machine
album's
Gun
called.
Kelly too.
And Machine Gun Kelly.
He's on that
He's
album.
all over the place.
He's
that
actually
dude,
on
bro.
that album.
Sound like
He's-
Good Charlotte and shit.
Yeah.
That was my first concert ever. Imagine that shit. I went
Really?
to Good Charlotte was my first
Wow.
concert.
Good
It's
Charlotte.
Just because the kids are gonna revolt.
That
to
was
that.
a good time, huh?
Yeah, that was. I mean, that whole time period of music for me was really cool. I
Yeah.
like that stuff.
Can't get that shit.
Reminds me of like Good Weather,
Yeah.
like,
Skateboarding.
yeah, American Pie movies or something
Oh
like that. That's
man,
literally
love
what it reminds
those
me of.
movies. Love those movies. So
some motherfucker's gonna be like, "What's American Pie?"
Yeah.
So, eventually.
Oh, please,
imagine.
please. If you
It'll
watch
be a
it right
series
now,
soon.
If you watch it right now and you ask what American Pie is, just turn it off. Stop watching us or go to YouTube and look it up or something because you have to know about American Pie. He puts his dick in a pie. Anyway, so I want to talk about.
Oh, man.
I want to talk about some past and possibly some present projects that you got going on. When I started becoming an avid listener was after we did the cipher, and then you did the Shadows of Autumn.
Yeah.
Was that an EP of just a limited song?
Four. Yeah.
Four limited songs,
4 songs.
all very intense, deeply, very well put together songs. Was that the first one?
That was so my first record I ever did. I had a project called Made for More.
Okay.
And that was kind of my first. I took I started rapping when I was younger.
Yeah.
I didn't really take it seriously until a little bit later.
Until you realize, you have potential, probably.
Right, where like I thought I was being serious about it, and
Yeah.
then like I was like, okay, I wasn't being,
Mhm.
and then I was chilling for a bit, and then, a couple of buddies pushed me to be like, dude, you're really good, now
Right.
like you should start trying to do this.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, sure, and I did, and that was when all that like stuff happened,
Mhm.
right? So, I mean, that was the first one. It was just kind of just like 11, 12 tracks.
But I want to, it's called Shadows of Autumn.
So that was the first EP that I did after.
Okay.
And that was like, I found out my dad had cancer.
Okay.
Right
I
there.
wanted to get into that, but I wanted you to lead into that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so
Go ahead.
continue, yeah.
Yeah, so like I started writing. I wrote that whole entire thing
Mm-hmm.
in like a couple days.
Wow.
And I was like, done.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to go record this.
Yeah.
And I had this like Willy Wonka themed idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like going through, I hung out with a couple buddies and
Yeah.
we were putting that together and just like, all right, we're gonna, be like, just making some ideas and being creative.
Right.
And then we released it and it actually just fell on 11 minutes, 11 seconds
Perfect.
intentionally.
11,
right?
11, wow.
And it was like, because you're like hopeful.
Kind of
right?
like a wish to.
like hope my dad's good.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean?
Huh,
Like,
funny.
yeah.
Wow.
So I'd had that, and then there was all that stuff. Like if you go on that cover, there's like a purple ribbon
Yep.
in a tree that's for the pancreatic cancer, right? So I have all these like little
Awesome.
tidbits of stuff.
Awesome.
All-
Those. No. I want to say those. And if you have a chance, please go look up on YouTube. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Just look up Kyle Goldstein, but look up Shadows of Autumn. The cover is really cool. Every cover that he does for these series of tapes, seasons is what you call it.
Yeah.
Very cool, very detailed.
Yeah.
So like you said, there's a purple ribbon. I think it looked like somebody else fishing maybe or something like
They
that.
have a bunch of stuff in
Yeah.
all of them. That was a summer one.
Yeah.
But shout out to Alex Martin
Yeah,
on all
Alex.
those covers.
Shout out to Alex, man.
All those covers,
Yeah.
man. He's done pretty much every single one except for Legend, which was the last one I just
Okay,
did.
nice.
But Shadows of Autumn, it was just done. It was written in 2 days, and I was in the studio making it. We put it together, we put it out, and then that was kind of where the ideas came in about seasons.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Made sense, yeah. So then you made a series of tapes, which you should go check them out. And I love that. But you said that your father had cancer
Mhm.
and passed away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to your dad.
Rest in
You know what I
peace,
mean?
yeah.
I could tell by just knowing who you are in person and seeing your reflections online that he was very important to you in your life. A driving force, would you call it?
Yeah, for sure.
In your
for
life,
sure.
in many
100%.
aspects, not just with music, everything.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
oh yeah, man, he was the man.
Yeah.
And he was always really supportive of my music. So, and I always write about, what I'm going through.
Yeah.
What I don't have anything else to write about.
Right.
Why would I write about anything else other than that, right? Like,
True.
for me personally,
Yeah.
because I know that I'm not gonna make some song and just have it
Whatever.
mean nothing.
Yeah.
If I'm dropping a project.
I think no, but even if you're not dropping the project, I think that's what separates you from a lot of other artists. I wouldn't just say around here, like period. Like
Thank you, dude.
Like you really go into your music. Like you said, you're not just gonna go in there and go ribbity hibbity slibbity slibbity. Like you're really gonna
I
say
can,
something.
you know what I mean? That's
Of
the thing
course
too.
you
You know what I
can.
mean?
Of
That's
course
the
you
thing,
can.
right?
Of
that's
course you can.
Right.
But you choose to take your craft every time with perfect execution, is what I would call it.
Thank you, brother.
Perfect
I
execution.
appreciate that. That's
you know?
some serious work.
No,
for me, bro.
seriously.
I
So,
appreciate that.
I would think that would be, your dad, like, showing, all that's a driving force behind who you are. So that's cool. Because, as you know, my mother passed away, too. So I feel
Sorry
for you.
about
No, please. Thank you. But I feel for you in that aspect. But, all right, cool. So, wait, real quick. I heard J. Cole's album today.
Mhm.
All the way through.
Yeah.
I heard twice, all the way through. First of all, I was surprised when Cam came on in the beginning.
That was awesome.
I thought he was gonna start
That
rapping.
shit
Dude,
was-
like if Cameron starts rapping, bro, it's over.
That's all it could. That's all it needed for it to be a little
Yeah.
bit better, right? Like,
So-
I was like, but the whole track was just that track
It was a great track, great track. How do you feel about the entire album as a whole?
I
Did you listen to the entire album?
a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to take it and digest multiple things.
I really enjoyed it, like a lot.
I agree.
I liked. I would say honestly,
90 to 100% of it. I would say 100%.
11 out of the 12 tracks.
Yeah, it's a fire fire album.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. I think he's like really in his bag rapping right now.
Oh,
Big.
that
time, big
LA
time.
Leakers freaking freestyle.
That's just gonna be classic, bro. That's just gonna be classic.
Let me tell you something.
Forever.
He
Forever.
he put in work so hard. Like when he, from the first word he spoke on that LA Leakers freestyle was just, how do you say, like I always would just say something belongs in a museum. That's how I say it. Like that LA Leakers freestyle belongs in the hip hop museum.
That's like
Let's
that
not
black.
wait.
That's like that Black Thought.
I was
Funk
gonna
Master
say
Flex
Black
line.
Thought.
Dude.
I didn't want to say it, but I was gonna say Black Thought.
No, that Black Thought freestyle one is like. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
shit?
of course I have.
It's
Multiple
it's
times.
legendary.
Multiple times.
Legendary, and it's
Yeah.
like that dude doesn't even break a sweat. But I'm
No.
saying, like, I was talking to my brother about it. I'm like,
Yep.
5 years from now,
Mhm.
you're gonna be, there's gonna be people still talking about this LA Leakers.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Absolutely.
Big time. 5-10 years from now.
Definitely.
People will be like, that's gonna be like in the crates. Just
Yeah.
like if we, go back and watch, some like a rock hymn show or something like that.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's gonna eventually be hip hop history.
I had to add it to my playlist because I need to hear the audio like
Plus,
like a regular song.
two classic
Those
beats,
beats!
dude. Yeah, 93
Bro!
Till Infinity.
Oh
and,
my God.
Still Tipping.
Ah, he absolutely murdered those beats, man. But
Those are like the freestyle. Those were the beats I used to like freestyle to.
yeah.
When I was
everybody
growing up and
started with those beats.
rapping.
Yeah.
Especially Still Tipping. My boy Alan, shout out to Alan, would always put on Still Tipping. We would rap it. It's good to rap to. It's
Yeah,
like good to like
yeah.
really start learning.
That
There was a
whole-
couple of those ones.
That whole
like
movement
that.
was pretty wild, huh?
Yeah.
That Mike Jones and Paul Wall and
It was
whole-
crazy.
that
All
was
that, all that
wild.
like Houston, like Houston shit.
What it do, like
Yeah.
that Houston
What
rap.
was Slim Thug?
Slim Thug, the boss hog in the north.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lupe
Shout out
made
to
a song
Slim
about
Thug.
him. That was the Hip Hop Saved My Life track, right?
Really?
Yeah. So if you listen to Hip Hop Saved My Life, that was based off of Slim Thug.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I think I'm about 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah,
That's
that's
time will
awesome.
tell.
So, I want to close it out, and I wanted to ask you. I really want you to speak to the younger, upcoming artists. What would be your advice for nowadays and how music works, how you release music, how you get noticed, how you want to engage with your fans? What would be your best advice for upcoming artists now? And it doesn't have to be under one thing. It could be, do this, do that, or try to, you know what I mean? But what would be, and you can think about it for a second, what would be your biggest advice for an upcoming artist?
I think some most important things. I mean, and I feel like I don't even know if I'm the person to say.
Oh,
that,
you're
right?
the person.
You think so?
Yeah, you're the person.
Okay, but either appreciate that, brother.
Yes.
But I mean, I guess just be genuine. I think being a genuine person and staying true to yourself in your writing.
Yeah.
Will go a long, long way.
Absolutely.
And people do notice that. People will notice that, the genuineness of your art and of your music.
Yeah.
I think that, at the end of the day has gotten me as much support as I've gotten.
Yep.
And I've been, grateful enough, like so grateful for that. Being genuine, making sure you're willing to sacrifice and like you're willing to be available for your dream, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can't achieve shit when you're not doing shit.
True.
And when you're not doing shit, it's all you're doing is putting yourself behind and putting yourself behind and putting yourself
Falling
behind.
behind. Yeah.
And, because there's somebody in the gym putting up shots still in the studio, still trying to rap.
Yeah.
And then that person's going to get noticed. But so I guess work ethic, keep on putting out good content as much as you can.
Yep.
But making sure that it's genuine art and people flock to that. So
Yeah. And would you also say that if you're going through anything in your life, you kind of want to draw your real life into your music because it comes off, like as you said originally, more genuine.
right.
Yeah.
Like if you think about all the people that are big rappers today, for the most part, like I mean, even like some of the greats I'm talking about,
Yep.
like the greats, the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
They all have a lot of themselves in their rap. There's
Yeah.
a lot of genuineness in their rap.
Yeah.
The other stuff is not, eventually is gonna get outed.
Right.
Cole said it in 1985. You know what I mean? He says that stuff. He's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and all of a sudden, you know, people are gonna stop fucking with you because
Yeah.
you're following trends and
Yeah.
you're doing this.
Yeah.
And that stuff will catch up. But you know, I don't know. Like, I'm not at liberty to tell people what to do and what not to do. But I guess like when it comes to art, I always just hope that when I'm hearing it from somebody, that it's genuine and it's like them. It's them.
Right.
And that's pretty much, I think, my biggest
Great
piece of
advice.
advice I could give.
Great advice. Kyle,
My
I
man.
want to thank you, man, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, brother, for having
And I
me.
want to let everybody know this was episode 7. And remember, every episode is powered by Hustle Killer. And if you don't know, check the website, check the Instagram, follow the pages. And if you want to purchase some stuff, www.hustlekiller.com. And if you want to grab some Loud Talk gear, merchandise, make sure you go to the Loud Talk Podcast Instagram, click the link tree in the bio, and it's going to bring you to multiple places that you can shop around, whether it be Hustle Killer or whether it be the Loud Talk Podcast gear. We got stuff like mugs, pens, and all that type of stuff. So I just wanted to say, this is episode 7. I want to thank Kyle Goldstein. Please make sure that you go check out his music and follow his journey. I'm sure he got a lot of very good things coming up. And yeah, Kyle, thank you for going on. We're gonna sign off now. So
Cheers, guys.
we're out of
Thank you.
here. Peace.
Later.